Love how Angel Gang's just having like their own conversation in the comments. Hi guys.
Hi guys.
You ready to get into this, okay? Kicking off the new year, tapping into the energy, seeing Wagwan. All right. We're gonna do it like we did last time. We're just gonna kind of circle around and around. We'll pull cards. You guys feel free to ask questions too. Because we can tap into energies, what you're asking, but because whoever's home we're in has control over like sticking these comments. So I'm going to try not to pay attention to that and let that distract me while we're reading. But yeah, ask questions too, guys. Feel free to do that. You guys can see the comments, right?
I can't because my phone won't allow me.
Okay. You can only see them, Mom, when I pin them to the screen, right?
Right.
Well, guys, we're going to kick off. First, I'm going to put some frankincense on the bird. Guys, we did very, very good work. Okay, this year has been full of triggerings, deep diving, healing, and a lot of Saturnian energy. So feeling restricted in many different ways, but they're kind of ascending to understanding why. And now Jupiter is going to expand many of us, and all the beautiful ways we're going to expand. It's exciting. And regardless of whatever triggers may have, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt what's coming into you. Don't doubt where you have reached, where you're approaching, where you're further going to move forward towards. You guys did the work. Mama did a reading for me, and one of the biggest takeaways was you've already done the work and you're already prepared. Don't push your manifestations and your future away by doubting that. And I share that with you because that was impactful for me, just to really acknowledge and take this moment of reflection on the journey and how far we've come, especially just this year. This year was very triggering, and we shifted through incredibly thick energy that typically we would have just gone around. We actually bit the bullet and went directly through it. So kicking off the year, being on the other side or approaching the other side is really exciting. And just know that going through that, instead of going around it, you gain treasures, collective. It's like going into caves and mining minerals and diamonds, and you went in and mined the diamonds in your own soul and your own self. So it was worth it. I hope you see it as being worth it, because you could have agreed to just go around it. You could have, collective, just know that. But you willed, you wanted everything in there, and you got it. A lot of which is your authenticity, your dreams, your rightful place. It's really quite beautiful. So I feel very optimistic about going into this reading. I thank you, sisters, for just being open to doing this together with us. And I'm very excited for 2022, not just for me, not just for the Three of Cups, for this collective as individuals, the things that are individually going to be able to play out and manifest in your life, because all the blockages, all of the low vibrational energy that kept you out of union, not just from your divine partners, but from who you really are, and all the beautiful, destined and fated dreams, aspiration, opportunities in front of you. There's nothing there. There's no blockages that stop these things from coming into you. So congratulations, I guess, is in order for us. But let's start out. Let's pray. And then Mama's going to do the honors to tap into the energies for the year first. If you're okay with that, Mom.
You want me to do the prayer?
No, I'm going to pray, and then you're going to kick off the energies.
That's no problem.
All right. Angel gang. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective all the messages that are in our greatest good, surrounding our material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to us, our personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High forever and ever. Amen.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so honored to be doing this. I'm in London. We're 10 minutes away from New Year's, from 2022. So I'm so honored to be doing this collective reading with my sisters. We typically don't want to be talking about any struggles anymore. I know that myself, I know that Destiny, and I'm sure Jass is the same. We're not talking about the struggle no more. We're not going to be talking about the healing. We're going to be talking about the things that we're going to be looking forward to, the abundance, the expansions. This is a 6 year. This is all about mothering energy. It's the nurturing energy. It's the mother mind. It's the spiral. You know, we're done with the whole linear thing. And as Destiny so beautifully said, we have done the work. Not to say that this work is not ongoing, but it no longer has to be a struggle, and we no longer have to be doing this shit on our own anymore. We are now a fully fledged community. We really, really are now at this point. So I really encourage all of you to really connect. You know, if there's somebody in your city, in the same city as you, link up, you know, hook up. You know, you guys are out here on the internet, we family, and then you go back to your lives. Hook up if somebody's living near you. I know I've got some London gang in the holla man, let's hook up, because this is a time of celebration also. You know, this is a time of celebration. We didn't have the opportunity to celebrate our wins in this year because every minute there was so many different twists and turns to this whole journey of 2021, but I feel like it's going to be a much smoother ride. And yes, the things that are going on outwardly in the world will continue and they will escalate, but it is your choice if you want to tap into that. This is now, you have been given all the tools to create your own. Jass said it in our divine feminine energy, and as we stay in the theme of divine feminine energy, she is a visionary. She is an oracle. She is the one that can see your wildest dreams and visions before you step into them. So let's get into that at this point, and let's get into these romance angels. As I said it, I just triggered myself. Underneath, we got passion at the bottom of the deck. We've got passion at the bottom of the deck, and this is essentially the energy that I'm feeling for this new 2022 energy that we're going into. This is going to be a very passionate year for all of us in all of our areas, not just in the romantic areas, even in those romantic ships that are not permanent, even when we are, because I believe, you know, the way that I've seen a lot of this divine counterpart journey, because we're going to speak on it, because we spoke about the feminine and the masculine now, so we could talk about the two of them.
We can talk about it
now. Yeah, and what I've really learned about this journey with this dynamic is that, you know, it's almost like a job. You know, when you start a job and you meet new colleagues and you've got your co-P, you know, the one that you ride with in this job, there's a lot of work to do. You know, we've got lots of things to do. But once the work's been done and it's time for you to move on to a next job or a next path, do you still carry along the same old work colleagues or not? You know, I'm feeling like we now have to reclaim the narrative of this whole divine partnership. And I truly believe that there are octaves to this shit, you know, because if somebody was vibrating with you at one stage and you've done the work and somebody hasn't done the work, surely as you've done the work, there needs to be somebody to either meet you here or something else to come in altogether. So don't become a slave to this narrative that there's going to be passion regardless. There's going to be a growth, an expansion regardless. And you're going to love every single person that helped you, every single work colleague on every single part of the journey that did it. So what difference does it make? The love remains. So let me shuffle some cards. I just want to say that. I just want to say that because I want to kind of change up the narrative, switch up the narrative of this whole team, because we're not doing this unrequited love shit at all.
It's boring. It's boring. It's boring.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. So, yes. Let me pull these romance angels and see what they're saying. See what they're saying. Can we get some insight for this new 2022 energy and love for the collective? Let's see. Let's see. Pay attention to red flags. Pay attention to red flags. And remember, we told you, you've done the work. You've done the work. So don't think that you're just going to glide effortlessly into something new or something passionate. They're going to test you. They're going to test you. And this is where you're going to be able to use your newfound intuition and instincts and trust in your faith, trust in your guides and all of the things. Because like Destiny was saying, like you're not going to tap into a tarot reading to see if this is the one. Soon we're not even going to be here. So you're going to have to trust yourself. You're going to have to be able to pay attention to the red flags. You're going to have to be able to see what the trigger traumas are and why they are there. And not necessarily if somebody's triggering you in some way, they're not necessarily not good for you, but you just need to know what that is. And you have to learn to trust yourself because you are going to be tested. Just to make sure, because remember, 2022 doesn't really start until spring. So we're still, I mean, we're just playing the Gregorian game here. But we know, you're just playing the Game of Thrones out here. But we know really and truly, there's still going to be a few little tests. Don't be alarmed though. Don't be, this is for you to be able to pat yourself on the back and be like, I didn't get attached to this because I'm lonely. I didn't tap into this because it's been a while. Be discerning, you guys. Be discerning, because not everything that comes for you is for you, and everything that is for you can't miss you.
Absolutely.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I feel like that's too many. This, Okay. We got children. It's been a theme all year. Your love life is being affected by children. It's been a theme the whole year long. But the way that I've interpreted it is more that we have to step into our innocence. We have to, once we start releasing, because we've had to restructure our beliefs about what love is, what it looks like, what it feels like for us, how we project it to others, and I feel like the most innocent form of love is through children, and I feel like this is the energy that we all need to get back into. We don't have to be throwing everything in the bin as soon as we're uncomfortable, or we should have learned enough tools at this time to be able to communicate our way through any difficulties. But I feel like the innocence, and also use your imagination now. Be very clear about what it is that you want to attract to yourself. Some of you have attracted partners haphazardly. You haven't been clear. You haven't been sure about what it is exactly that you want. Use your childlike inner child imagination to really, truly bring yourself a partner that you truly want to build and vibrate with, if you haven't already achieved that at this time. Because some of you need to renegotiate contracts for true. And the inner child is the one that first of all decides what it is that we want in a partner. And for the divine feminine, I know that many of us in our childhood were programmed with that Disney programming, that waiting for the prince to come on his white horse and save our ass, or being able to have the right size foot to fit in a shoe of glass, and all of the things. So all of this Disney programming, guys, we have to leave that here in 2021. I've got 1 more minute of it left here in London. So, we leave that there, and we ask our inner child to construct something more realistic, because you can't only just imagine that you've got this perfect partner. You have to include the flaws as well, but you yourself have to know which boundaries, where you draw the line, where it is that where it's a no. What's your breaking point? What's your deal breaker? You know, be clear about these things. And also, children will be a massive theme in 2022. It's the mother year, so yes, it's fireworks, baby. It's Happy New Year in London, 2022. You hear the fireworks? It's loud as hell.
I can hear it. I wish I was there. I was supposed to be with you, Jass. We were supposed to be together. We're not even gonna go there. It will happen, but whatever. I was supposed to be. And then
the final card is true love. It's true love. I mean, really and truly. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you guys, because we asked for the highest vibrational outcome for the collective, and this is achievable in this 2022 year. I feel like 2021 was very difficult for all partnerships, whether it's from business to romance to parents, to all partnerships were strained, because a lot of things needed to be cleared, a lot of purging needed to be done in these relationships, in our paradigms, in the old paradigms, in the patriarchal structures of what relationships should and should not be. So I feel like where we've done a lot of purging in this 2021 year, relationships were difficult, and now we get to experience true love in this new energy, especially for each other, especially for ourselves. This is a true, authentic, all warts and all representation of full love for self, and this is what you reflect. But y'all watch out for them red flags, because they'll try it. The devil don't sleep.
Happy New Year, Mama D. I love it.
That's crazy.
Sorry.
I'm gonna turn my mic off when one of you take it away, so that it's so loud.
All right, collective. So I feel the need to tap into love. I'm gonna go ahead and follow up with Mama D. Happy New Year to anybody who is over in that time zone with Mama D, and I just wish everybody well in these next 12 months that we have. So what Jass has been channeling, what the ancestors have been telling me, is going into this new year, I'm pro-love. All right? I'm pro-love. I'm pro-love. You hear me? What Mama D say the last time? About love more. I love that, Destiny. What did Mama D say the last time, you guys? Didn't she say something about, as the girlfriends, right? If you gonna come to me, I should at least be throwing in some advice to save your relationship, in the same breath of throwing in some advice to save yourself. Okay? I'm pro-love. Don't book me if you want me to drag him. I'm gonna put that shit in the description box. Don't do that. Because we are perpetuating conditional love when we continuously do what Death said, and that's throw the blame. If it is my fault, if it's your fault, what if it's nobody's? Seriously. What if all of this shit is just spiritual contract? Seriously, y'all, hear me when I say my love. I'm about to rename my love readings on my channel to. No, y'all think it's a game? I'm pro love.
There's a whole restructure happening.
I'm pro love. Okay, this is new earth energy. The name of my love readings is Reflections, because this is your contract. This is your mirror, and this is your opportunity to see something within yourself that maybe your two eyes couldn't pick up on, but this one will identify through the mirror that's been presented, or maybe the mirror that you asked to come through. Not only our mothers, not only our brothers, not only our lovers, not only these pets that y'all see running around your house, all this shit is predestined and chosen. You hear me? It's energetically here to take you from point A to point B. So I'm pro-love. All this shit is about reflections. All this shit is about lessons. These two beautiful witches right here, these are my reflections, yo. my good and my bad sometimes. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? What beautiful way for God to work through me, if not through them. Seriously, hear me when I say, you guys, it's so much fault that we can give, and it's so much blame that we can be shifting out here. But when we really get down to the nitty gritty, we don't be them same people that we was before the encounter. So hear me when I say, these are our reflections going forward. I'm pro-love. And even if that means pro-self-love, that's still pro-love. That's still pro-unconditional love. So this is a PSA. Don't book me if you want me to drag him. Don't do that. Don't book me if you want me to drag him. Don't book me if you want me to I spy with my pretty eye. Fuck that. No. Don't book me for that. We gonna go in and Jass is gonna be pro-love. And that don't mean that I'm not gonna read for filth and tell the truth. You hear me? The truth shall set you free. But how we choose to deliver the truth, that is on thy messenger. That is on us. That is on the deliverer of that truth. You know, we can serve truth with medicine, or we can serve truth with piment, with pepper, with hot sauce. We can. So it's really up to us how we choose to deliver you through your situations. And going into 2022, like I said, even if it's self-love, y'all, I'm pro-love. So we not to sit here and continue to make it okay for us to love conditionally. We're not. We're not about to sit here and make that okay. Because then it is a reflection of how we fail to love ourselves unconditionally. When we place conditions on our reflections. All right, y'all. We got to be willing to express love to receive love. Yes, Jass is from the DMV, Maryland. Gang, gang, gang. What's up, DMV? What's up, DMV? So, this is a beautiful card, you guys. The energy is calling for us to be willing to express love. I just heard the same damn thing that you guys are expecting from the divine counterpart is the same damn thing that the divine counterpart is expecting from you. Whatever may be truly holding your reflection back is the same thing that's truly holding yourself back. Some of you guys have created certain defense mechanisms pertaining to love, and that is what you are attracting yourself. So whatever type of trauma bonds that we've created thus far, they are truly boxed in. We can't break free of certain trauma bonds because we're not even willing to express ourselves to certain capacities with one another, with our reflections. And every time we try to run from these wounds of lack thereof expression, we get another mirror placed in front of us, maybe in another cycle, maybe in another person sometimes. And it is truly trying to highlight the fact that there is something blocking our heart chakras from being able to really emanate or express how we feel towards one another. So the same exact way that we expect the masculine to, verbally validate, emotionally validate connections, they expect us to do the same thing. They really do. So this is some type of awareness being brought to the lack thereof expression between masculinity and femininity. There is a communication blockage or barrier between masculinity and femininity. And the card says express love to receive love, you guys. So the same way that we want people to, it's like cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. The same way, which you, as above, so below. So we are truly just attracting what we are. And sometimes we choose to break the mirror, then reflect in the mirror. So be willing to express love in this new year. That requires us to be able to see love in everybody, including ourselves as well. Some of us are disconnected from that love, disassociated, I hear, from that love vibration, so much so that we don't see the love in other people. We barely see it in ourselves sometimes. So the lack of expression towards lovers and friends and family, it is the reflection for you to be able to realize the lack of expression that you may cater to the love for self. So this year, there is no more throat chakra blockages. There is no more heart chakra blockages. There is some type of integration of these upper chakras and these lower chakras, which I tapped into in a reading. They meet here in the middle, which is the heart. The upper chakras are so feminine. The lower chakras are so masculine symbolically, but they have to meet here in the heart. And the heart chakra is what truly allows us to express the vibration of love when it's felt. So the masculine and the feminine are meeting each other halfway this year, 2022. This is not about me going 75 or you going 75. This is truly like 50-50 energy. Express love to receive love. The masculine and the feminine are meeting each other halfway. We're going to pull one more, y'all. One more. Romance. Okay. Romance. I like it. Romeo and Juliet. Cupid's arrow strikes. So, you guys, if you've been looking for it, or if you've been looking for that spice in your life, you hear me? If you already have a lover, if you are already in a couple situation, or if you have somebody in mind, romance is definitely going to be a domino effect of people being willing to express love. But this is romance redefined. This is romance with a little spice of intimacy attached to it. Like Des was just saying, the eyes are the gateway to the soul. And I do feel like this is people seeing beyond the flesh this year. Some of you guys have been physically attracted to what you want and haven't been spiritually aligned with that want. So this has a lot to do with redefining romance and what it truly means to feel like Cupid done sent something your way and it hit you in the ass. This is that fairy tales and unicorn type of energy as well when you see this shit. Because this is a connection that goes beyond just the flesh. Some of you guys really like what you see, but once you get it, you realize that it's more than meets the eye. You know, once you get past that 3, 4, 5 months maybe, that person's representative completely leaves, and that romantic phase, pay attention to the red flags, honey. That romantic phase, it starts to fade, right? This is true romance, and it can't fade. It only gets better with time. It really does. It only gets better the more that you choose to define it and what it means and how it feels and what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys may have had this tainted perception of being romanced. Or if you consider yourself Romeo divine masculine, you have a good deep need to look at what you believe romance is to you as well. Because going into this new year, you guys, this is truly letting people know what you want verbally. So that way, if they don't meet you halfway here in this heart chakra area, you guys, then at least you know that there was no misunderstanding. There was no misunderstanding whatsoever. Some of y'all getting ready to really experience that love of a lifetime, I feel like. So just brace yourself for what you asked for, that true love energy. That's crazy. I said love of a lifetime, but I really wanted to say true love. That's that true love energy. And it's scary sometimes, especially when you had fake love, you know, expressed thus far. So when that romance hit, it is going to feel like Cupid lingering and shooting you in the ass and stuff like that. But what are you willing to do once you start to feel what you feel? Are you going to hold it in, or are you going to share that with somebody else and allow somebody else to share that with you as well, while still keeping your eyes open and being discerning to all possible red flags? Because remember those old reflections? Yeah, they showed you what to look forward to make sure that you was prepared for when those red flags chose to come up again in your now moment. So make sure you thank your karmics in 2022. Pass that on to Destiny real quick.
Thanks, Mom. When it comes to things like divine partnerships and stuff like that, because that seems to be the theme, love and romance, and you guys know we'll see what we pull and what other energies. But just based on, listening to the sistrins and channeling, the unrequited love cycle is over. It's because you stopped running, you stopped chasing. But this feminine energy healing at this time is really pivotal about receiving. And I feel like collective, the masculine energy and the feminine energy both have their part when it comes to living out love. And I feel like the feminine energy, whether in male or female, is going to be triggered to reintegrate back into the love and romance space. And it is going to be quite triggering, but because we've done the healing and the work, we have all the tools that we need to. So it's not a fear of, you know, blowing it or letting it go. Like on the karmic cycle, it was riddled with these regrets, which we had to succumb to them just being experiences that taught us very valuable lessons, and then let them go and just accept them for what they are. It's just not, it's just different now. But anyways, what else was I channeling while you guys were talking? It was a lot. I should have jotted some things down, but we'll just pull cards and see what else we tap into surrounding the new year. Oh, one thing I did want to touch on though is this intimacy bit. That seems to be like a really heightened focus on intimacy and understanding intimacy, because a lot of people crave connectivity and closeness, but then become very uncomfortable and resistant of the exact thing that they crave and want to have, or having expectations that somebody offer a certain level of vulnerability or intimacy that you collective aren't willing to offer or not tapped into. And it's fine if you're not, but it's about these expectations. And I feel like if there are expectations, they could be triggered at this time. Like I was tapping into these new beginnings, even in love and romance. And some of you guys have kind of glorified and glamorized what this beginning should look like. And it comes in very humble, like a page. And there's a lot of page energy coming in, and page lives in Malkut with all the tens. That's a very powerful placement in the tree of life. And if we have the energy that the page isn't enough, when the page is reflective of the seed, which is planted to grow into something bigger than even you could imagine at this time, we're going to have these, there's going to be these, there's an issue there, straight up. So humble beginnings were coming in, these beautiful, humble beginnings. It's almost like what we were talking about of looking at things at face value, you know, and focusing more on this external perspective of beauty instead of an internal one. And then disposing, letting go of things because we can't identify or don't take the time to really see the value and the true beauty, and then regret it after. That's that unrequited lover chaser. We're done with that. We're in the present. So look at these beautiful little pages that are coming in, collective. They're humble beginnings in career. So opportunities that, yeah, they're not grandiose, and yeah, they don't offer all the perks that your maybe narcissistic mind thinks they should at this stage of the game. Some of the most powerful, richest people, they don't have that pride. They have no problem going right back to the building bottom, building that shit back up and again, and doing it over and over and over. Collective, you're getting an opportunity to start something from the beginning. So there was a lot of this Seven of Pentacles energy. Seven of Pentacles speaks of seeds you planted long ago. Some of you guys are going to be brought back to your past. And it's not really the past. You interpret it as the past. Somehow you feel like you're going backwards. So this 2-step forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward only to go 2 steps back. You're being brought back for a reason. And the reason could be a lesson. But for many of you, the reason is that little seed you planted. Pentacles could be years, up to 7, give or take 7 years ago, has started to bust, or it's now you're able to reap from it. So it's like the energy of like you didn't stand there, that you weren't, the divine didn't want you to just stand there and hover over it. Like the Seven of Pentacles is usually depicted, and just watch it grow, like sitting and watching a pot boil instead of going and like cutting the vegetables or like doing something else. So you went and did something else, but you're being brought back. Your attention is being brought back to somewhere where you planted a seed because something has sprouted. There's something to be had now. So it's not really going back, is it? It was an illusion to think you went 1 step forward and 2 steps back. That's an illusion. You go to where you need to go in order to truly get ahead. So a lot of times we're pushing forward only to realize we missed something pivotal that we need in order to proceed forward. So that's why, to me, 2022 is a very exciting year, because you guys have been wanting to proceed forward. You guys have been tapped into dreams, aspirations, things you want, but you really couldn't move forward to them. Sorry, this is really distracting me. Yeah, it's because of what's being texted to me. I don't even remember what I was saying, but anyways, let's just pull some cards, okay? Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels. Let's kick off the new year. What can the collective look forward to? The first card out. I'm going to cry. Not the second, the first card out. That will never stop tripping me out. My inner child will always do that. Until I'm an old lady, my inner child will always do that. Long-term investments are going to be brought back. This is the divine validating the work that you put in that you thought wasn't good enough, didn't yield you anything. You're going to see that it did. You're going to understand what you put out into the universe, you get back. And it's not just bad energy. It's love, it's effort, it's time, it's investment. This is what this is about. It's investment. Many of you guys struggle in love because you feel like the work you put in love didn't yield you what it is that you want. The divine is going to show you that. For many people, for many of you, the way you tried to love people and it wasn't received. You expected those people to love you back, or else your love meant nothing. But the universe is going to give it back to you in another and show you that your love is given back to you regardless. So the Seven of Pentacles is exciting. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, which speaks of this seed. Again, for many of you guys, I did it in the daily reading today, but for many of you guys, especially my entrepreneurs, you really didn't let your ego get you to abandon certain endeavors, because many of you guys are going to go into 2022. And yes, your entrepreneur endeavor isn't exactly where you wanted it to be, but it grew from the page to the night, meaning you can see how it grew. You can see you're being patient. Seven of Pentacles, it's the minor to patience energy, to temperance. And you're willing, you're not going to abandon it. You're willing to nurture this process. Again, this is that divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy understands and honors and nurtures the growth and development process of not just a child and a human being, but your careers, your entrepreneur endeavors, that business you guys are starting, that's a baby that you need to nurture and develop and take time and be patient with. And devil energy could have been trying to convince you to abandon this baby. But you're like, no, why would I do that? It's growing, it's healthy. I'm going to be patient with it. I'm going to give it time. Because after the Knight is the Queen. And that's a very big leap up when it comes to like entrepreneur endeavors. Many of you guys maybe can't live off of these things yet, but you will when you get to the Queen. And you're already at the Knight. You're going into 2022 at the Knight of Pentacles. That means that your business can maybe sustain itself. You finally made a return. Maybe you're starting to make a client base. So it's not enough to quit your job, or it's not enough to buy that home yet, but it's enough for it to show signs of life. You've got something here. There's growth. You went from the page to the Knight over 2021, or maybe over the course of who knows how long. But this is how you're going into 2022. And the next step is the Queen, which means you can live off of this. So the divine is going to validate the work you've done this far. So some of you, this Knight energy is what you're going to be achieving and what you're going to be gifted with and go, wow, I'm happy I didn't give up on this. Look at what the divine just showed me. I just got a business. I just got a client. I just got a contract. Yeah, it's small, but what? I'm now in business. Like, what the fuck? Like, I need a tax number. Yeah, go get it. Go get all your foundation. The next 3 years is about building foundations on the external. You did the work internally to become more solid within. That's what that work is. Now it's going to be playing out externally. And anyways, it's just, there's just a lot of potential goals and success. That's the energy really going into this year. And there's validation that does come to you, but great energy with regards to entrepreneurial endeavors, small businesses. Then we've got strength. The 7 of Pentacles plus the Knight of Pentacles equals the 8 of Pentacles. This is strength you've earned. This speaks about what's already earned, not what you're going to achieve. This is looking at what you've already earned. The strength that you have, the courage, the strength, and the control. This also speaks of discipline. Let's see, though. Discipline is high on the fucking, the energies. It's not, the divine's just like, discipline. Like in any way they can get that. Why? Because we want to be powerful people. But the true essence of power, not the patriarchal slave way of being, no, like real power, spiritual power. And discipline's a really big part of it. And we also want to be free people. So let's see though, what else? Then we've got the Fool. I saw some. Okay. Then we've got the King of Pentacles. This is a very significant leap in finances. You go from the Knight to the King. This is massive. Why, though, this leap occurs is because of seeds you planted before that are harvesting now. You think you're at the Knight. You think you're at the Knight. The divine is going to bring you back to places, energies, things you've done. Like I said, collective, you planted things that you thought weren't busting from the ground. I might as well leave this. This is useless to me. I didn't get nothing out of this. I put in work. I put in effort. I put in nothing came out of this. And the divine's going to show you after a long period of time that no, look, something did come out of this. Not all plants grow in a month. Some take a lot longer. This took a lot longer. But it's ready now. Something's ready now. And there's like a significant increase here in finances, in stability. A lot of pentacle energy too, which speaks of Malkut and things, this building energy over the next 3 years now. And a lot of that spiritual stability now playing out externally. But what else is here? I'm going to pass it in a sec. Hold on. I want to pass the baton, but the King of Wands. Yeah, these entrepreneurial ideas. Some of you guys are going to come out of a business partnership while some of you guys are going to go into business partnership, because with the 5 of Wands, this is about your entrepreneurial endeavors that involve other people. So as an entrepreneur, you can have a business all by your lonesome, but we already know that with the 10 of Pentacles, it includes other people. And I feel like there's this energy of collective of needing to know where to just meet, just agreeing to disagree with people. And not seeing that as being out of alignment with them. You need different minds. It helps expand your own. So instead of 2 people trying to get their point across as being the point and the right one, hierarchy, you come into the Sigma energy and you don't need to compete and debate. You just need to be open and listen to the different perspectives without feeling like you have to relinquish your own. That's why people are so resistant with being open to the different perspectives of others. They think they have to pick between one or the other, and you don't. So I see expansion in career that's actually linked to a partnership of some kind. Now, this could even be romantic. Remember, we talked about manifestations coming in 2s. You brought in a romantic partnership and now it's offering you expansion in career. Many of you guys are going to come into partnership and gain some kind of notoriety. You manifest abundance when you come into union with very important people, which is why we had to do all this work to be pro-love and let our inner lover live and be open and all that shit. Learn how to build relationships. And how did you learn how to build relationships collective? By the one you built with yourself and the divine. That was the template. Now it's trickling down. And these relationships, though, coming in are really meant to expand us, but they're also meant to bring in manifestations that you could not bring on your own. They are tethered to the union energy. Think of two people needing to come together to have a kid. This is two people coming together in order to be famous, to be rich, to build a business, to whatever. It was always destined to be that way. So a lot of you guys are trying to bring in manifestations that you can't alone. And you're focused on the manifestation and the divine's trying to get you to be focused on the relationship. And you're thinking, why? Well, because that's how you get that manifestation. You get me? And they're tethered. They're different. Because the divine's trying to link all the different areas of your life. So it's not my work and then my life, my personal. It's all reflective. You are reflected in every area of you. You're not compartmentalized. And then your life is a reflection of that. So this is union in the true fucking essence of the word. And like when we talk about abundance and ancestral abundance, our ancestors have contractual agreements to bring in abundance through bloodlines, which is why we link up, come together, why we come out of union and the universe brings you back together again. Like there's contractual agreements here. No different than your ancestors have massive beefs. There are archaic beefs that have glonned, okay, in your bloodlines. But there's also these archaic alliances, okay? That's why you meet people and they feel like family even though you don't share blood. And that's even illusion. Who says you don't? So we'll come back, but let's pass the baton. I'm long-winded and it's like, next.
I know mine's is muted, but mama, sometimes hit it once. Sometimes it got a little delayed response, like when you hit the mute button. Oh, it's the mic. You gonna leave and come back, you said? Okay. Yours is muted, right, Des? Ain't nothing wrong with your mic. Yours is just okay.
You can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Mama D is going to rejoin us, you guys. Just give her a second. So I don't feel the need to pull any more cards. I just really wanted to pretty much say that paradigms get shifted when we shift them. So I do feel there's been a lot of years of holding back in regards to love, in regards to relationships, in regards to romance. And I do feel like going into this next season, you guys, this is all about authenticity. You know, owning, honoring, and, you know, ultimately becoming authentic and transparent about what it is that you want and what it is that you feel. I do feel like, you know, previously we used to expect that's so Raven energy from our partners. It's like, you got to see into my future. You got to read my mind. And I do feel like that is a emotionally traumatic response when we don't even know how to communicate with our lovers. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we tense up because our masculine energy doesn't want to be emotional. Sometimes we tense up because our feminine energy doesn't want to be vulnerable and or be you know, our feminine energy is actually not trying to lash out and be angry and feel all of that. So to those people who find that they perfected that silent treatment energy in love and in relationship, you know, going into this next season, pay attention to communication because I believe that is key. You have to really, really be willing to express love in order for you to receive love. So I do want everyone to pay attention to what triggers you in those moments where you shut up and you shut down and you can't find the words to really get what needs to be said off your chest. I want to pass this back to Mama D, because what happened, Mama? Can we hear you?
My daughter was trying to call me to wish me a happy new year. And she said to everybody, welcome to the future. The world is ours.
Yay. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Blue.
So that's what happened. My baby was trying to call me and tell me happy new year. So yeah, I missed a few minutes of what you were saying, but I caught the back end of the whole fact of just finding it difficult to express love and communicate love. I think a couple of months ago I said, can we make saying I love you as normal as saying hello and goodbye? You know, when we greet each other, I love you. When we leave each other, I love you. And the more we get used to that, especially to our sons and our masculine, you know, we need to get into the habit of that. So Bell Hooks, she was saying that she's got 5 sisters and 1 brother, and one day her brother ran through the house, went to his room, and then ran back out the house to go and be with his friends, and his mum stopped him and said, let's start that again. Greet your sisters, communicate, say hi, you know, tell them that you love them before you run in. What if this is the last time that you're running through the house? So, you know, it's really important. Everything's very uncertain. We're living in such uncertain times. So if we are unable to tell one another that we love each other, because it's the very essence of what we are, then we're taking that 1 step forward and the 2 steps back. You know, we can fall in love with complete strangers if we allow ourselves to, in the street, you know, just by a 2-minute dialogue and anything. You know, we need to really open up to normalizing saying I love you when we greet each other and when we leave each other. Family, no family, it's just what it is. But anyway, I wanted to pull from the Andinkra Know Thyself in relation to what the collective have to look forward to in this coming 2022 energy for us all. Sorry, it's taking ages. Like, hurry up. Okay, we got we'll just blast through them very quickly. It says skill and precision. This is what we were talking about with taking your skills that you have accumulated in the last 2 years, really. At least it's been accelerated. Taking these skills and being very precise about how you're executing your manifestations and your dreams and the things that you've been working on. Precision got you here in the first place, really and truly. It's back to the 7 of Pentacles energy, where you've done already precisely planted those seeds. It may have not been fruitful when you wanted it to be fruitful, but it's becoming fruitful now. So it's asking you to continue to sharpen these skills, be very precise, be very deliberate about how you move in this new energy. And then we've got resilience and solid foundation. It just, again, it echoes the 7 of Pentacles energy. You know, you've been patient, you've been waiting, and now your solid foundation is bringing back dividends for all of us at this time. So I'm just running through them. Sorry, guys, I'm just running through them. And then it's got commitment, perseverance, and trying harder. This is what we're talking about with all of these partnerships coming through, whether you're in them now or you're not. You know, commitment. You know, we've been I can speak for myself. I've been very non-committal. You know, I have to thank the Three of Cups from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to become committed to something that I've actually had to, you know, put some type of regard into. Even though I have my own business and stuff, I it's easy. Like, it's just like, it's nothing. So commitment to it is like, it's nothing. But this, you know, coming together with others, this is proving to be a real commitment for me, and that one that is really challenging my commitment issues, you know, because I've definitely had commitment issues in the past, and I've just reflected that in a lot of the partners that I've reflected to me. But because I didn't have a full understanding of it being my own commitment issues, and I was just reflecting that back, or that was being reflected back to me, I would always blame outside of myself. But now that I have a better understanding about myself and the commitment issues that I had, and the way that I'm working through them by coming together with other people, by committing to certain things with other people and not just my own self, I'm able to diminish the old dialogues and the old what do you call it, whatever, the old way of being, the old patterns of not being committed. So and then we got perseverance. It is about persevering. I mean, give up to do what at this point? Give up to do what? If you've tried again. I mean, Aaliyah said it best, you know, if at first you don't succeed, we try again. It's like Destiny said, if the page comes to you, the page could have had a fortune 3 times before they even met you, and they're in a position now where they're just going to build up from the bottom. So it's a perseverance, and it's being able to stay committed to that perseverance of what it is that you're trying to cultivate and grow. And then it's trying hard, you know, it is about putting a little bit more effort. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll put a little bit more effort in because I'm not so scared of commitment. Maybe I'll put a little bit more effort in because I'm not so afraid of eye contact. Like Destiny said, I don't want somebody to dive into my soul without permission. You know what I mean? It's like, but then the one thing that enters your soul without permission is music. And isn't love a vibration? You know, so it will enter you without your permission, whether your eyes are closed or not. You know, so maybe, you know, this is me trying a little bit harder to surrender and to let go, because I talk about me because it's you guys, you know, it's the same thing. So maybe we're going to try a little bit harder, just to trust this process a little bit more as well. Not be so impatient. Not be so impatient. And then the final one is good fortune. We got good fortune. Come on, we got good fortune because it echoes everything Destiny just said. It's just a clarifier for everything that Destiny just said. So I feel like I don't even have to go further with that. Thank you, Sam B. That's incredible. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I'll pass it over to Jass. Yeah, girl.
All right. So I want to go ahead and separate these energies one time just so we could get a little specific. I know divine masculines be watching us, y'all. They just don't be chit-chatty. They really don't. But they love us and they need us. So as biased as I may be, I be talking about all my ladies, all my bitches, all my witches. Nah, sometimes these masculines need their own message. So I pulled out the Rebel deck. Y'all know what it is. The Rebel deck reads for filth. It got a little cussing in here. It's got some strong messages in the Rebel deck. So this is really about to just get us together real quick. We just about to get ourselves together. So in regards to divine masculine's energy, entering 2022, ancestors, speak to their heart, speak to their soul. What can they expect? Spend time with Bay, divine masculine. Make art, love, or music, okay? So y'all are being encouraged to realize that time is an illusion, okay, divine masculine? Time is the only thing that you do not get back while you experience this human experience, man. And I truly just feel like divine masculine, whatever excuses, whatever third parties, whether that be work, family, or woman, that's standing in the way of you and the person that you truly love, you're really being encouraged to prioritize a little better, prioritizing and fitting in love into your day-to-day and into your everyday. A lot of you guys have rationalized love outside of your experience, and it's not fair to you because it's human nature to want companionship. That's why you always feel like you want to spend time with Bae, whether you realize it or not. Whether you find that in multiple energies or the one that you seek, okay? That's why you always want to be around a feminine energy here, divine masculine, because whether you want to deny yourself of this or not, masculine energy and feminine energy, it's human nature to seek and to want companionship. And it is truly detrimental to experience a certain amount and a certain level of loneliness. It is actually equally attributed to smoking 15 cigarettes per day scientifically when they did the research. So that shows us that we are supposed to be in union with oneself and with others, period. A lot of y'all masculines is getting ready to really, really realize that that's a safe space that a feminine energy truly provides for you. Witches and wizards in the building. I love it. I love it. Because that is a safe space. And that's why you crave it. That's why you want it. Some of these masculines don't express how much they do want to make art, love, and music with the feminine energy because they feel like that emotional expression is foreign to them because it's actually attuned to their feminine energy that they refuse to acknowledge or tap into from time to time. So going into this next year, I feel like people who feel separated, people who feel rejected, people who may feel neglected in regards to time being the constraint between you and your partner, that might be not something to really expect. Divine feminine ancestors, speak for her heart, speak for her soul. What's her guidance? God damn. What? All right, divine feminine, you have logic for a reason. Use it. Fuck feelings. All right? Fuck feelings, divine feminine. Fuck them feelings. You have logic for a reason. Use it. Y'all want to know why I said goddamn? Because my last love reading, I was trying to get this message. And the way this card just came out, it was just like light bulb moment. Girl, you really spent like 10 minutes trying to get this message. And that was literally it. Fuck your feelings in this season, yo. You should never put your heart in your mind's position going forward because time has showed you, divine feminine, your heart remains here, your mind remains here. They don't need to play one another. And one is not above the other. This is all about having a conversation between logic and emotion. So yes, you may feel some type of way about some person, but it's time for you to put your mind in the mix of this. You hear me? Some of you guys are going to realize that your heart gets you in trouble. Your heart puts you in positions that sometimes you don't know how to get yourself out of. But when you incorporate the logic of your brain, when you really start to think and discern and realize what situations that you are truly in, when you see things as they truly are, you know, you get a different type of result. So I do feel like this is some type of symbolism of our masculine being integrated. You know, we can actually put our emotions aside when it's time to think now. And that allows us to become emotionally stable and emotionally powerful as well. Derica said emotional balance feels so damn good, and it really does, because codependency is uncomfortable as fuck. And sometimes if you are waiting for someone else to be that missing piece to your puzzle, every day that they don't show up, guess what you're going to do? Be unfulfilled. So codependency in all ways, in every way, you get me? This is truly being deaded emotionally, physically, financially, you hear me? And it's fuck how you feel and fuck how that makes you feel, because when you really, really think about it, how healthy are these situations for us when we incorporate our logic, when we use our brains, when we ask our minds and ourselves what's really good and what's really tea. So this is not a season where you thinking with your yoni. This is not a season where you thinking with your heart. Most toxic niggas fuck good. They really do. And I'm trying to tell you, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. It takes hard work to give good dick, and they still give it to hoes. They don't give a fuck. They really don't. So sometimes y'all be letting them feelings, them emotions get the best of you. And this is just not the time. This is the time to think like, oh, okay, he just got great sex, or oh, okay, he has potential for X, Y, and Z. Use your brain while you're using these niggas as well and getting what you need out of your situation. So that way you don't always end up with the short end of the stick because your heart guided you or misguided you in certain directions. So that's what the ancestors are encouraging both masculine and feminine energy to do. I want a blanket. I'm getting a blanket. I'm about to go get a blanket.
Go get a blanket. It's cozy. So just one thing I wanted to say about the whole head and heart thing. And I get that. I get the logic aspect and how emotions can play you out of your position if you don't have the logic in play. But the point is, the lesson is you function with either of them. They are not designed to function alone. They need each other. Your feelings are a reflection of your thoughts. They help you better understand your thoughts. Your thoughts help you. Your thoughts control your feelings, collective. You need them both, especially when it comes to making decisions about these big, massive paradigm shifts, these leaps. You need them both. And even just having them both and being in union is going to be very different for especially the feminines that led with the emotions, no different for the masculines who have been functioning in love primarily from the head. So in order to have this middle ground, the masculine would have to start being more comfortable with functioning from the emotional space. And the feminines, in a romantic sense, would have to be more comfortable with using this. So it's just about coming into this balance, right? But it is a balance that's required, because the masculine can tell you about being skewed too far to logic and not tapping into the heart, which is trying to signal to the brain what's truly desired. You have desires, passions, all kinds of things living in your fucking heart chakra. It's important, and the feminines can speak about how you'll drown. Like you don't have thoughts. That's air. You don't have air in water, you drown and you die. Like, it's not good for you. So it's about coming to this balance, which is very much what this union energy is going to reflect. It's going to be different for both. But when I had my reading with Mom, she talked about how the feminine energy, I'm pretty sure it was you, Mom, was talking about the feminine energy not being cool. Yeah, it was. You were telling me like sometimes he needs to be. I'm like, because I made some joke about, oh, divine masculine better not come to me like some bitch ass. And you're like, what if he does come like a bitch ass? He needs to have a safe space for his bitch ass to fucking be emotional when there's nowhere else in the world or anyone else in the world who will see him as a bitch ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this balance is really important. And if you're struggling with moving forward, it's probably because you're trying to move forward without one of them. So balance them, and all of a sudden, because then there's no regrets. You balance your head and your heart. There's nothing to reflect back in retrospect and be like, well, what would I have done? What would I have done? There isn't. You did what you were going to do because both parts of you were present. Fuck, all parts of your soul, all 5 dimensions of your soul are sitting there going, giving their 2 cents, and everyone's a part. You have like board meetings inside of your soul, like a board of directors where everyone has a say about how it's going to fucking go down. So there is no regrets. There is no, oh, I need to go back, or, I left nothing. So whatever happens, and you won't have regrets because you knew all parts of your soul were on board to do this, or to move forward in this way, or to leave this, or whatever the case is. Things that actually, even though it seems like a lot, breaking down, doing all that time, you take that time to really counsel within yourself, you actually save a lot more time, because then you don't have to waste all that time going back to reclaim the perspective or the idea that you abandoned at the time. Who has time for that? You do, or else your ass is going to have to find time to go right back and figure it out. And retrospect, everything's in retrospect. I'm over that too. It's like the unrequited love cycle. It's boring. Everything in retrospect, or, oh, I woulda, coulda. It's like, what happened to the present? Like, don't we manifest the future in the present though? Like, I don't. So you know what I mean? It's getting late, so I'm getting spicy. But anyways.
Can you not hear me? Yeah? All right, boom. I'm going to pull from one last deck, Making Magic Oracle. I'm going to stick with the oracles because you already know that I blag it with the tarot, man. I'll just be making shit up. And I was telling Destiny, I'm just going to decide to make my own definitions up. I don't care. I'm just going to do that from now on. I don't care what it's supposed to mean. I'm just going to tell you what I think it means, what it should mean. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. We're switching this shit up. We're switching up the game. Remember, you saw it here first. We're switching up the game, yo. We're switching up the game. All right. First of all, yes, we got Trinket of 5. All the 5s. We got Trinket of 5. And it's manifesting money and income.
Manifesting, coming out of a 5-year.
Manifesting money and income. Are you listening? Are you listening, collective? Because we're not playing. We asked divine straight, what can the collective look forward to in this 2022 energy? And it says manifesting income because you planted the seeds. It's the 7 of Pentacles. You did it. You already did it. You did your work. You're balancing your shit. And I just want to echo on what Destiny was saying about, the head and the heart. I also understand, Jazz, what you're saying, because we've moved mad in this shit. We've moved mad with this. We have, and stayed in it only because we're like, oh, it's a divine partnership. But it's like, well, listen to me now, right? I told you there's octaves to this shit. You can believe it or you don't believe it, but there's surely octaves to this shit. And what is for you will not miss you. This is why the higher self doesn't give a fuck about these divine partnerships, because the higher self already knows what is for you can't miss you. And no matter what it is that you do, it can't miss you. So just continue to do something else. Go and chop those vegetables while that water's boiling. Do that. But in the meantime, if the water's boiling and something else walks through the door, you can abandon the water and the vegetables and go out for dinner. Do something cute. Do you see? Do you see, guys? It doesn't betray the fact you can't, whether you participate in these connections or not, they just are. Okay? Okay. So we got manifesting money. Let's see what else. And Destiny, you got to take us back to the tarot after this. You got to take us back to the tarot one more time, I beg. We got earth. Ask the element of earth for grounding, stability, and strength. This is the sigil, guys, for the earth. Have I got it the right way? Yeah. Ask. This is why we say again, it's so important. This is the ascension of the earth that you are in the process of. It's not about you or me or him or them or they. It's about the earth, really, essentially. And we're just in it. We're not of it, we're in it. And we're having to go through the process of this thing. So the better relationship you can have with the earth, that isn't just going outside and grounding. That's what you're choosing to put inside your body from the earth. That's how you relate to the earth. It's how you speak to the earth. How are you, what are you doing to contribute to the health of her? Are you still using a bag of plastics in every damn thing that you have? Are you still, I don't know, using eco-friendly stuff? I don't know, because I'm trying. I'm with you guys. I have to look at my own life. I ain't calling you out. I just started using bamboo toothbrushes the other day. It's like we try, we move. It's one small little step every time. So this is about, connecting with the earth. And I also implore you always, when you go to her, when you do go to her to ground yourself to earth, always take her a gift. The gift can be something as small as some water. The gift can just be a candle, but make sure you pick up your stuff after you. She just wants an acknowledgement that you came for her, and you don't ever bring a god. You don't go and check a goddess without a gift. That's it. And she's a goddess. So we should always gift her when we are take it. It's an energy exchange. It's an energy exchange between us and her. And she's going through a lot right now. So I'm sure she would love as many gifts as possible. So it's really important in the 2022 to really get disciplined in reconnecting with the earth. As Destiny has told us, reinserting yourself back into the ecosystem. It's very important because you've got a choice. You either reinsert yourself back into the ecosystem or you get inserted into this new matrix that's being built for you. It's your choice. All right, I'm done.
Mama, I fucking love you. Like, okay. All right, let's see though. Let's slide. I actually want to bust out the Lenormand. This is my favorite deck. Anybody who knows me well knows that the Lenormand Golden Venetian's my fave. And I love Eugene. I love his decks. Let's see. How else are we kicking off this year? How else is the collective kicking off this year? And any advice that we can give to the collective to support them in what they're going through and the energies that they're going through the end of this year. Again, this card in Lenormand, it's the Six of Cups. This card, though, is the stars, number 16. It speaks of long-term goal planning. And the Seven of Pentacles speaks of long-term, reaping off of long-term investments. So there's this energy about like reflection, seeing how far you've come. I feel like there are things to claim from your past experiences. The way I'm channeling it is like you're trying to disassociate yourself from something, from an energy from your past that still has value in your life. But because there's wounding there and there needs to be some healing, you're just trying to avoid something. And you're like, why am I being pulled to this? Why am I being pulled? Because there's something, a lesson, there's abundance, or there's healing to gain from it. This is coming out again. Six of Cups also can speak of that intimacy, that connections energy. Like people consider it like a soulmate. But I feel like regardless of what you want to call it, this speaks of like a bond. Some of you guys were really struggling and feeling really heartbroken because all this work that you put in was actually surrounding like a bond and a connection. And because of some things that occurred, you questioned the work, you questioned the connection, and the divine is going to show you how real that connection really is. And like I said, there's going to be healing, conscious awareness of a lesson, so closure, or direct abundance that comes of this. I don't know what else. Then we have the Five of Cups, which comes in right before the Six. But it's the Six of Cups and then the Five. Should be the Five and then the Six, but it came out the Six and then the Five. That's that energy of thinking you're taking a step back, but you're not. The divine is bringing you back somewhere in order to gain healing. You think you're moving 2 steps forward, but you're not. The feeling of going backwards is an illusion. There's healing. Some of you guys are struggling to let go of your past, and it's because there's healing that still needs to occur there. And you just need to surrender and accept that instead of trying to run, because then it puts the universe in a position to try to keep showing you why, which is maddening. It feels maddening. If this is making sense, I'm not sure. Anyways, then we've got the Eight of Swords. Again, this is the energy of feeling trapped by your past, or feeling limited, or making excuses as to why you can't achieve future goals, why you're not setting goals, why you procrastinate, why you don't take the effort, why you don't make the effort to actually, because some of you guys are reflecting over like goal setting that you made at the beginning of last year, like your New Year's resolutions, what you have accomplished and achieved and what you didn't or didn't even try. So some of you guys these are, like I said, this is either being trapped in the past, or this is mentally. And again, this would be needing to surrender to whatever, there's a reason for that. Instead of rejecting that, just see the reason. Or this is procrastinating. or making excuses for why you're not making goals for the future, why you didn't achieve or go after the goals you already set in the past for your future. If this is making sense, because this card is about goal setting. And this is the card about being trapped in your mind, 8 of Swords, mental imprisonment. This could also speak of like some of you guys could meet a significant soulmate. It doesn't have to be romantic, at like a social event, because this is the card of the courtyard. So this is where people would go back in the days in the 1700s to like have like chill time, to go and to talk and to chat and to have tea. So it's considered like a social card where superficial relationships, surface relationships lay, which is not always a bad thing. People always think like superficial relationships are great. Think you can go and have deep relationships and put in the work to have deep relationships with everybody. You cannot. Okay, so not all superficial relationships are bad. It's when they're lying and the superficiality is as far as the relationship can go. Then it becomes lackluster and a problem, right? Or when there's superficial, surface level connecting with people that that you're close with, like passive aggression or pulling back or lying or things of that nature. But anyway, this is I'll be honest, the Lenormand isn't giving me the greatest energy. The Lenormand isn't giving me the greatest energy. And look what came out. One of the best energies in the card. Do you see what I just did? What the divine just tried to show you guys? As I'm saying, oh no, the divine's saying, oh yes, don't be so quick to write something off. Don't be so quick to think you know what's going on or what's for you. Did you get? That's what I just got from that little thing there. Because this is like one of the best cards. And I'm just out here talking about the Lenormand gave me nothing. That's what I'm saying. There's a shift in paradigm. The universe is going to shift you by showing you otherwise. Don't let your ego get in the way. This is fantastic energy. This is a new cycle. It speaks of the first. Wands are days. So this literally can speak of tomorrow. We don't speak on time, but wands are days. Swords are weeks. Cups are months, and pentacles are years. But anyways, I got a day. I'm like, this is the first, and that's the first day of the year. It's a new cycle begins. And if you don't resonate with that now, like Mama said, technically, depending on the timeline and depending on what, your new year starts in September. Some of you guys are in completely different, like, what do you call them? Not time zones, but like if it's winter for us, it's summer for them. Hemisphere. You know what I mean? So it's all like, but this is a new cycle that's beginning here. This is really beautiful. This is really beautiful. Let's see. The past is just an illusion, man. Yeah, needing to drop it. This is it. This is the only blockage that's there. This is the only problem. And it's something that doesn't even exist anymore. And it's the past. Such a fucking mind fuck. It is, but like surrender. This is 2 cards about releasing, needing to let go. The 10 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles. Let go. Half of my reading with Mama D was her just like trying to tell me like, yeah, but that's about the past. Everything I said was referred to the past. It's like I wasn't even here. Well, no wonder I'm like struggling. It doesn't have to be the reality. And this is the only thing that's in the way. You manifested different, collective, because you changed from within. And the only blockage between the change occurring internally and externally for you and the union energy occurring internally and externally for you is letting go of the burden of the past and how things turned out. Really surrender that your cards were what they are and you needed, like Jess said, we're going to thank our karmics because we tapped into the understanding of what they taught us. And that's all we care about because knowledge is power and that's what we're out here for. Angel gang gang. You know what I'm saying? So this is the only issue. Everything else is great. Everything else, it's such a, because it is a mind fuck. It casts an illusion. Like Mom said, the devil don't sleep. And the devil just knows that all I have to do And that was another. So one message I did get for divine partners is that many of you guys are going to be triggered, especially it's obvious if this is somebody you're reconciling with. But for some of you, these are new people. For those of you that are single, manifesting new people into your life, romantic partners, there's something about them on the surface that mimics the old karmic cycle. That is going to get you to feel like it would be taking a risk or a leap of faith to explore the connection to see if it's actually different. This triggers a trauma. So for example, I use the example of, say, I don't know if it's the greatest example, but just here's one. Say your ex had a friend that was of the opposite sex and told you, oh, that's just my friend. And it was a lie. They were actually a third party. And you said, I'm never going to date someone who comes to me talking about they have some close friend of the opposite sex. No, I'm not for that. But now you meet this honest person who has genuinely just a friend of the opposite sex who it's platonic. And should you take the leap of faith to explore that, you'll see that. But on face value, it looks like you've been presented something or manifested something that is the same, and it is not. There's a leap of faith that is required in order to see that something is different because of how it's presented to you on the surface. If this is making sense, it's like your ex might have left you for the mother or father of their kids. And you said, I'm never going to be with somebody who has kids. And now your divine partner who is loyal and who has no intentions of hurting you and is going to show up and will never, mark my words, never do to you what was done in the past, has kids and maybe young ones. What the fuck you going to do? This is what I'm saying. Are you going to take the leap of faith to see that it's different? It's just surface is the same. Nothing under is the same. Nothing. But on the surface, it is. And the real fear is your questioning your ability to use discernment and be able to know the difference. It's not an external doubt. It's internally. Don't doubt yourself. Try it out. Maybe your discernment isn't that great. You'll find out. But the point is you're going to be given opportunities to expand and learn in the romantic space. One of the cards that was pulled today was literally romance. That's a big statement. And everybody thinks romance all like, romance is meant to trigger through intimacy, deep. Intimacy speaks of deep. So if it's a deep connection, that means there are lessons and triggering from deep within. It's very valuable opportunities. And this Ace of Wands with the ring speaks of these new cycles in romance, these new connections and higher levels of commitment. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Is this the closing message? Are we closing out? Oh, so we'll close out with African Goddess Rising. We'll see who's leading us into this new year. I know Mama D is already there where she's at right now. I know we got what we got left. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we right on our way. We was on our way into this new year, y'all. Ancestors, what's your last piece of guidance? Speak to our hearts, speak to our souls. What's your last piece? What? Looks like the one on top. Worthiness. Goddess Atete. I just want to make sure I gave multiple pronunciations because I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, y'all. But she came out to tell us, you are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy of everything you have, collective. You are worthy of everything you pray for every day. You are worthy of everything that's coming in. You are worthy. And you are the reason I hear as well. Through your worthiness, you call these things towards you. You are the reason why you have attracted so much of what it is that you deserve here. This is very symbolic of your new profound perspective of your deserving and your worthiness. The ancestors really need us to know who we are going into this new year, because without that perspective of feeling worthy, being worthy, knowing how worthy you are for what it is that you truly want, nothing comes about. You are the reason that these things come about. And what's attached to that reason is your ultimate sense of self-worth here, collective. And maybe some of you guys might have to go back and find it wherever you left it. Maybe it's a part of your childhood. Maybe it's a part of your first love. Maybe it's a part of your, who knows, right? But whoever you used to be used to feel way more worthy before certain experiences told you otherwise. So now it's time to take our power back. Now it's time to look in the mirror and really see what other people see, because I feel like our reflection of our worthiness is all around us, through our friends, through our peers, through our coworkers, and through our family members. They show up for us to show us sometimes just how worthy we are. So this is truly a season for us to remind ourselves, who is pulling these puppet strings ultimately? It's you most of the time. It truly is. Her message out the book to us is, stop hiding, shrinking, and playing small. Stand tall like the majestic sycamore tree. You are mighty. Life does not need to be perfect for you to embrace your own perfection. You matter. Worthiness is in your veins. Accept yourself now. Your birth certificate says that we need your overflowing magic, joy, and vulnerability. And most importantly, we need you. You are deserving and worthy. The beautiful parts of you that everyone likes are worth loving. The parts of you or others, the parts that you or others dislike are worth loving too. That part. The parts that you don't even like about yourself are still worthy of love. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? That's like a message for the collective right there. Your creator loves you unconditionally, because that's the epitome of unconditional love. I love you, flaws and all, because regardless, you are still made in the image and the likeness of perfection. So I can't pick and choose what I want to love about somebody today and tomorrow. I can't love them under these conditions of if, when, but, and maybe. That's not unconditional love. That's not the love a mother has for a child. That's not the love our creator has for us as its children. You know what I'm saying? So the type of love that we should be showing ourselves is, even through those things that you may dislike about yourself in others, there's still room for love there as well. So we got to feel worthy of love to begin to have love for oneself and then for others. Worthiness, y'all. You are worthy. You are worthy. I love y'all witches. I'm done.
We love it here.
We do love it here, Angel Gang.
Guys, this is absolutely incredible. And this is not the end of the Three of Cups. This was just at the end of the little series that we had going on, but we got to continue. I like the little Friday vibe we have going on. We're going to build an infrastructure for the Three of Cups, and just be patient with us. But we're building something here. You know, it's different than we each individually have our own platforms and channel messages, but coming together to create a platform, it's like how Wu-Tang Clan was created. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right? You know what I mean? That's how Wu-Tang Clan was created. You know what I'm saying? What side?
I love it.
So I just love what we're doing here, and I'm excited about the new year. And for those of you guys that don't feel excited, let your inner child show you the potential.
Where is it?
And
Where is it? Here. It's here.
Yeah.
It really is.
right.
Came up.
Because some people are struggling with it. They're not, and I tapped into that months ago, that some of you guys were not going to be in the energy that you would think that you should be in order to have a good 2022. It's like the energy you're in makes you think that the next year there's nothing to look forward to, and that's an illusion. So, and you don't even need to know that. Just know though, when these manifestations and your ships and everything are coming in, the only thing would be that your ego would reject them. And I just don't see that as being, you wouldn't have done the work. And we've been talking about the work for years. So that's not even an issue. It's just a matter of going through we're going to be talking about the uncomfortableness, the vulnerability, working through the kinks, what we're building. All that's going to be the dialogue. Like Mummy said, like the story's over. We're not sitting here talking about the healing. Like it's going to be different. The tone's different. The vision, it's Jupiter expansion, right? So even the nature of these readings, the whole tarot community is going through an evolution before it goes through an extinction. Like I said, this is a dying industry.
Yeah.
Because you guys will all be able, you'll get the joke, like you'll get the scam, like the real which is that you guys all do this in your lives every day somehow, and no one validates it for you. Yeah. And so you really think that you're not of the mind, but you are. Like we're using basic human instincts. Our gifts are the beautiful, unique ways that we share this, that we do our work, but tapping in and seeing the future or telepathic connections or reading mind, those are human instincts that you all have. And then you're going to figure it out and you're going to be done listening to us run our mouth. You're just going to want to chill with us and shit and talk about other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go and find each other and build and expand and create and come together, because that is how the whole tapping into these other senses is the whole reason why the three of us are here together. You know, so this is something that's going to ripple out, and it's such a beautiful thing. And we're going to be there in our best outfits dancing with you at the grand party, because there will be one. There will be one.
Of course there's a grand party.
Absolutely.
Of course. I got my butt, like I'm ready. All right, guys. I love you guys. Happy New Year. And until the next time we see you, please continue to let your inner angels live. Mwah. Ciao.
Bye. Love y'all.